We're live, pal.
We are live, uncooked, uncut, and uncensored.
Let's do something that gets cancelled.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another edition of HCW Show Squared, the show we take the usual format or formula of the defunct HCW show and expand to the power of, you guessed it, two. I'm your host as always for these, Dan DP, or as they call me nowadays, DPZ. Yeah. And of course, I am not alone on this journey. I am not alone for this episode 38. I should have said earlier, episode 38, and I am joined by, of course, the original Sus Master himself, Mr. Impact Sus. How you doing? Wait.
Once, like, honestly, once again, for the record, I'd like to state I am not sus. But yes, it's me. You know it. You know me. It's that MIC Craig, aka Mr. Impact, back once again here to be called sus once again. But yes, I guess we should. It's been NXT. It's been in NXT again.
Yeah, it's almost been a spring break, you can say.
Ooh.
Exactly. Who knows what we're in store for? You probably should have watched the show if you're watching this. I mean,
Yeah. So I guess we should. Yeah. Just in case. Spoiler alerts.
yeah.
Just in
I mean,
case.
it is like 4 days since it happened.
Yeah. Just in case, you know.
Yeah. Just in case you haven't somehow seen the show yet. Spoiler alert.
Hey, people might be using us to catch up on NXT.
That is very true. And also, I mean, I watched it this morning, so I'm no exception to that at all, really.
Yeah. You never know.
You never know, exactly. So no, let's just kick it. Let's go ahead and kick start this. So we kick things off. So we kick off things with the new NXT champion. It's Trick Willie. It's what that trick. It's Trick Williams. What that trick and all that good stuff. He basically just thanks Ilya Dragunov for everything, praises him, and claims that this is now the Whoop That era, which is a horrible name for an era. And that's about all he says. And then out comes Lash Legend with a brown envelope in her hand. What could that be? They then exchange weird chocolate related puns where he calls her a Reese's cup. No, he says that she thinks he's a Reese's cup. Take the top off and get the chocolate on the inside. And then there's of a Kit Kat chocolate bar. Lash says the envelope contains the truth, and things are going to come crashing down for Trick, but not crashing down inside.
Don't beat me to it.
So yeah, there's a round envelope. There was chance of he's daddy or he's the father. Sorry.
Pop me.
Because I think they're, you know, as they came out, I think they're dating or they're partners or something like that.
Yeah, I believe they're a couple.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, I didn't really care for this. A mate of mine told me there was like related puns to do with candy bars or chocolate bars, and I was like, oh, cool. Can't wait to watch this. But yeah, so what do you think?
Yeah. I didn't mind it. Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, I mean, I can never look at a Reese's cup again, but yeah, I liked it. The he tricks the father chant was that popped me. Huge. Yeah, I thought it's. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued now.
You're intrigued every time you see a Regis Cup. You picture Trick Williams now.
Yeah. Well, I do think it's probably going to lead to whatever's in that envelope is going to lead to a match between Noam and Trick for the NXT title.
Yeah, no, I agree. Even if it is, Trick's the father.
Mm.
That was the child
Okay.
will lead to Noam Dar getting a title match.
Yeah. Yeah. Do that mental math if you like.
Exactly. Completely got sign for it. So we move on now to something that's more enjoyable. It's Ariana Grace and Georgina Dolin. Uh, never mind. Never mind. It's just a preview or recap for what's to come for the show. Whoa. I I'm not a fan of when they do like when they do like these whole I am this person, this is this person, and here's what's coming, and it's like they're trying to do it as part of the story, but it's also not because it's just the recap. It's like, oh, did you see Tony D'Angelo defeat him, or did you see Jesse J and Cost Via hell that match? They need to do their own story, not comment on what others are doing.
Fair enough, but I rated it. I mean, yeah, I did think it was going to be like an actual like segment between them two, considering we haven't really seen anything.
Yeah.
It's the first we've seen of Ariana and Georgina. But yeah, it's like I keep saying, it's just very entertaining with Ariana Grace,
Yeah, it
and
is.
now they've added Gigi to it. I want to see more of it, obviously, but this time with the whole training Georgina to be a pageant queen and all this stuff. But I liked it for what it was.
Yeah, I do think the longer it goes as well, I think it's more likely to be Georgina turning into what Ariana wants her to be, rather than like her turning on Ariana being like, no, actually, shoot this. Like,
Oh, I can't wait for whatever they come up with.
yeah, as long as it's not just Georgina breaking away from it and being like, oh, I'm Gigi again. Like, to me, that's the worst outcome. Like, you need to have Ariana turn into more like Gigi, or have Gigi turn into more like Ariana. They're the two outcomes that are good for this for me.
Yeah, and not have an Emelina situation.
Oh, jeez. Oh. Oh, how about
Remember that, folks?
do you remember when Minnie McKenzie was in NXT UK?
Vaguely. I know
Uh,
they didn't do much.
she was like, what was that? I think her name was like Amelia McKenzie or something like that. Like,
Yeah, yeah, I know. Didn't exactly result in much.
no.
Oh,
No, she's of course
not really.
flourishing, as is Tennille Dashwood, I guess.
Yeah, WWE names, huh?
Yeah. But yeah, that was that. That's what that was. Move on though to the NXT North American Championship match, which is the first time match of the show. Champion Obafemi defends against Ivar. Um, and not one surprise, Femi retains with the powerbomb. I rated it 3.25 stars. It was a great opener. Truly, the definition of the phrase "two meaty men slapping meat." Femi needed bigger names for his North American title reign. Ivar's a great addition to that list of names he's faced. Ivar's style is also unorthodox for someone of his size. So naturally, there were moments in the match where he had control, but where he surprised, which also goes against the modus operandi for what Femi does. Like, he's normally the one in control, normally the one standing on top. Uh, Overall, I do think the right person won here, though. The match was good. I will say it's not my favourite compared to, Briggs and Dijak, because that was insane. But maybe that's just me. Like, it was a good match, just not the strongest for the North American title reign set so far.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. If it was, like I said, it's just two big men, but one of them can jump around and do insane stuff. But yeah, I agree. It's a good match. Oba looked strong, and Ivar looked like he wished it could be Christmas every day.
When the band
But
starts singing and the band.
yeah, I enjoyed the match for what it was. I didn't actually believe I was going to win anyway, so
Yeah.
the right decision was made. But we need to get to what happened afterwards.
Yeah, we do. Yes, we do. So after the match, obviously, I mentioned the list of opponents that Femi's had so far. You got Dijak, you got Briggs, you got Ivor. I might have missed someone. I'm not too sure if I have. But he stands in the ring, victorious, and suddenly you hear music, and I'm like, I don't know who this is, but you hear the crowd react, and they know who it is because they can see the name on the thing. It's Wesley. It's the returning Wesley, the former rascal himself. It's absolutely amazing to see him back.
Yeah.
I don't recall if anything's exchanged between them other than just a stare down. But he needed back surgery. I think it was like estimated like 8 to 10 months of like recovery.
Yeah.
And he's back within like 6. So it's insane that he's beat that time frame.
Yeah.
But also, if he's next challenger for Overfemi, that's a big name for that list of opponents as well. That he's assuming going to beat Femi as well, because we're in that sort of reign right now where he's not going to lose unless it's like Cody Rhodes or something like.
I'm so happy to see Wesley, but I always been a big fan of Desmond Xavier, and then when it came to NXT it was Wesley and
Yeah.
MSK. All that stuff was so damn good, and then winning the North American title, like that. I'm so happy he's back. I hope he wins. I want him to win the North American title. Like, even though you could it probably will be over continuing this run of just going through everyone until I don't even know what happens. But I'm buzzing to see Wesley back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
So
absolutely,
buzzing.
absolutely. Yeah, couldn't agree more with that. It's just great to see him back, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I think he appeared. I think he lost to Ilya on TV. Then he did this whole "oh, I'm done" thing, where he's like, he packed his bag, was like, I'm going, I'm gone. And then he came back, and I think he was in some sort of, I think he was in a 4-way thingy. I can't remember who he faced now, top of my head, but he was in a match, and then afterwards he won the match, and then he announced the next week he had to get surgery. So
Yeah.
from that moment to a triumphant return here, it's really good to see him back. And I wish him the best to see him and to see what he can do, because potential Wesley Trick Williams match. Potential.
Yeah.
There's tons of matches there you can have. Like.
Yeah, and I would put that title on Wesley straight away.
Yeah, I would too, actually.
That would just me.
Just get it off trick.
So just give Wesley all the belts. Sod it.
Yeah, fair. We'll give him the women's title too, yeah?
Yeah, throw in the just even bring back the women's tag team titles.
I put them both on Wesley.
Yeah, just put everything on it.
It's like the Ultimate Dragon picture of him holding all the titles from like the 90s, 2000, whatever it was.
Yeah, just do it.
But yeah, so after that we move on to the match of the night, which was between Thea Hale and JC Jane. JC is accompanied by Jasmine Nix as normal, and Thea is accompanied by the whole Chase U and Fallon Henley. We'll talk more about Fallon in a minute. So the end of the match comes when Fallon takes a bullet for Thea as Jasmine takes her out on the outside, which then leads to Thea locking in the Kimura lock on JC, which then gets a submission victory for Thea. I rate it 2 3/4 stars. Thea completes her story. You know, we're in the we're in that moment of time where people complete their stories. You know, Cody did his, Trick did his, and now Thea's doing hers. You know, so like it's this ongoing thing where people are going to complete their stories until the story ends. The match wasn't too bad for me. JC has the aura of an experienced performer, but the story that they've been telling here between Theo and JC for me has dragged. It's been going on for several months now, where JC was Chase U, JC was Thea's friend, JC wasn't Chase U, JC wasn't Thea's friend. Oh, who's Jasmine? Jasmine's here now. She's now JC's friend. So it's just become this whole like flip floppy heel face. What are they doing? Sort of story, and then it's made Thea look quite stupid as well. It's like, yeah, she had a friend, whatever, in JC, and then she changed her entire attitude to suit her, but then suddenly she's back to chase you again, and suddenly she's back with Kalani and Fallon, and it's been this whole weird mixed bag of just they didn't. It seems like they didn't know what they were doing with it, and then finally they decided to pull the trigger and be like, actually no, you're gonna win. Thea wins, and then here we are. So they can move on. Thea can move on. We can all move on. Fallon can move on. Kalani can move on. JC and Jasmine can move on. Kiana can move on to Raw.
Oh, yeah, it's been a bit of a what's the word? Let's just go with interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's blatantly obvious who's going to win, but it's also now what for JC?
Yeah.
Because like it's Toxic Attraction finished, then she had nothing, then found the whole Chase U thing. Now back to nothing. Like it seems like with her and Jasmine next, they're just trying to recreate Toxic Attraction in another form.
Yeah.
Like I don't. I'm not the biggest fan of it because Toxic Attraction was like so huge for NXT at that point.
Yeah.
And all three of those women worked so well. It just complemented each other. It's very rare you get a dominant women's group like that, and they just completely smashed it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but after this, I don't know. I'm glad Thea won. Obviously, okay, also get into Fallon in a second, but yeah, the match itself was enjoyable. Tainted a little bit by the fact that I knew who was winning, and I'd already seen what had happened after the match before I got a chance to watch it.
Yeah,
but,
it was all over Twitter when it happened.
yeah, I couldn't really avoid that one.
So what we're talking about is, of course, the after the match part. So they're leaving, Chase U. Actually, before I even get into that, sorry, JC's like mouth was busted. Like it's a good like Crimson Mask sort of thing back there, like
exploded.
Yeah, like her. I think it was her nose, but like Jesus, like the visual of.
I'm trying to watch it back and try to figure out when that happened. Was it on the DDT like before the Kimura lock?
Yeah, it must have been DDT.
Because that was brutal. I know she landed right on her face.
Yeah, because that's like a broken nose, maybe. Like that's like that's the to explode like that, like.
Yeah. It's something not quite right there.
Yeah, even still, it's an insane visual. But yes,
it should have won. It'd been even better.
Oh yeah, imagine that. Yeah. But yes, following that, of course, they all go to leave. Thea is leaving last. The men leave the ring. Fallon's in the ring because she's still like sort of dusting herself off because she got hit by Jasmine earlier. She's with Thea. Thea's like, "Come on, Fallon, let's go." And Thea goes to leave, and then Exactly, yeah, friends. And then Fallon follows. As Thea goes through the rope, she pulls her back. They're gonna hug. It's a great moment. And then no, it's a 4-up. Fallon just takes out Thea.
Uh,
It's the heel turn we all expected. That was just done horribly.
yeah, it was just a pretty basic friend turning on a friend thing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, although last week I did say it felt like they'd forgotten about it,
Yeah.
but clearly they watched.
Yeah. Someone already, well, what is this show?
Yeah, and figured, oh, again, screw them, we'll do it now.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
it was fine.
yeah, it
Again,
just, yeah.
knew it was coming, and it did. It looked to me like Fallon changed up her look a little bit as well,
Yeah.
which is always kind of a giveaway.
Yeah, I get that.
It is, yeah, and obviously getting knocked by Mr. Chase in the ring. Like, yeah, yeah, it's although it wasn't like an angry heel turn, it was just a four, and then she walked off. Like,
Yeah.
so
She's just, I think, like, she's frustrated.
yeah, but I don't know. Uh, probably get the stereotypical promo next week.
Yeah. I mean, we did get a backstage thing later on in the parking lot, which is
Yeah,
it's a slight snippet into what her motivation is, I guess. But it makes sense what she said. It just depends on what they do next week.
yeah.
But we'll get into that because I've got a note on that later.
Okay.
So we go on now to a debut match, a showcase match. These two lovely young guys, Tyson DuPont and Tyreek Igwe. Is that you pronounce it, Igwe? Taking on young upstarts, Gallows and Anderson.
Hey you. Yeah, you. Do you like this video? There is a button. It's a very sexy button. It says subscribe on it. I wish I could click on it, but YouTube won't let me. Damn fuckers.
You got one team of these surefire blue collar guys like they're gonna need brand new. And then also you got Tyson and Tyreek. Tyson and Tyreek, they do okay, but ultimately they lose to a Magic Killer. I think it was Tyreek who took it. I rated one of the quarter stars. It wasn't good. It was meant to be a showcase for Tyson and Tyreek. It was 2 minutes. They're okay. Like, Girls and Anderson aren't the debut team to have your first TV match. And I don't mean that in a harsh way because I very famously do not like Girls and Anderson. It's just they're not the easiest team to work with because of the certain style they work. They don't adapt. It's either you work their style or you work a bad match. And I know you probably disagree with that because you're a fan of theirs, but for me it was a poor match. But yeah, OC won. Meh.
Listen, it's that same old recipe. It's a
Oh yeah.
magic killer. It's a 1, 2, 3, and a just 2. Sweet. But I also agree that it wasn't the best match. I'm not doing anything Gavin Anderson do, not in the slightest. I'm fully aware this is not the ideal match for Tyson and Tariq. It just wasn't. And I like the look of this tag team.
Yeah.
You know, it's not something you see very often. Two big guys as a tag team. It's not you don't see it an awful lot. Like, I mean, what? I suppose in NXT you do get quite a bit because the Viking Raiders, AOP, and now Tarek and
Hank
Tyson.
and,
But
Hank and Tank. Hank will take Ledger.
Ah, okay, yeah. That's how. Yeah,
Right
okay,
there.
yeah, okay. Okay, so NXT you get quite a bit there, but it's very few and far between. And I don't think they've ever ran at the same time.
Yeah.
But
Is it, Hank's still there right now, but
yeah, I know I like the look of this team. They could have had. It could have been something better for them rather than
yeah.
the Go Brothers.
Like, I mean,
I'm not.
there
Yeah.
was like Edges and Malik Blade, Edges and Open and Malik Blade. They weren't on the show. They could have been the team to face them. You know, you could have. I mean, there was the LWO have been around recently. It could have been them. Like,
I think they needed a win. If I'm honest.
it could have been carrying across a Ellering. Like,
Oh, yeah, that's a match I'd never want to see. like, you talk about dream matches. What about nightmare matches?
yeah, absolutely. Paul Ellering in a ring in 2024.
Oh,
Pretty sure he wasn't even a wrestler back when he was in his prime. Like, so.
no. I wonder why anyone wears that white glove for. It drives me mad that there's only one white glove.
Michael Jackson.
It's the one white glove. The aesthetic of that.
The one.
He dresses like Ellering wearing one white glove.
Yeah.
Right, but he's dressed like crosses. He's dressed like cross dressed in TNA.
Yeah. But Craig, does the glove fit?
Oh. 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 Let's hope it's not.
Not going to go into it. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you can live in blissful ignorance.
Oh, damn!
It's a glove. Anyway,
no more juice.
Is loose or just no more?
Just no more.
That's fair enough.
Thankfully. Anywho.
Ava's here. She announces that there will be a multi-person ladder match at NXT Battleground to determine the first NXT North American Women's Champion. And there will be a combine. I don't know what that is, but a combine where 12 women will, the 12 who impress will be put in 6 qualifying matches. The winners of these will go on to compete in the match of Battleground. So we get a few people come out. So we got Jada Parker, who's first. Jada Parker, while I'm not a fan of her in-ring stuff, particularly, she's great on the mic.
Yeah. It's good.
She's followed on by Sol Ruka, who's followed on by Ariana Grace, who's then followed on by music that I have literally never heard before. So I'm like, oh, who is it? Who's it gonna be? Is it Julia? Oh my god, is it Julia? I'm like that. Have you seen that Jim Ross meme? Or like where someone pretending Jim Ross, but it's like Chris Jericho's entrance. And he's like,
oh yeah.
It's like, by God, it's Stone Cold Steve Ross. No, it's not Stone Cold Steve Ross. It's Mick Foley, Mrs. Foley's baby boy. It's
yeah.
So that's how I was. I was like, who is it? Who could it be? Who is it? Who is it? And it's like, oh, it's Mission. Cool, Mia Yim's here, but how did I not know that was Mia Yim?
I know.
The main roster memes are so generic. It's ridiculous.
Death Rebel or something stupid like that.
Yeah.
That is awful. Awful.
The thing is, like, CFOS did a good job with themes. Especially in NXT. There's a lot of, like, themes that they made that you could differentiate between who they were for.
Yeah. Cameron Grimes really sticks out to me.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
know if that was them, but yeah. Banger.
But yeah, so after Mission comes out, Ariana says that she's disqualified. Well, she's about to say it before she's decked, but she says that she's disqualified presumably because she's not on NXT. Which, there's just been a fucking draft where you determine who your roster is, your exclusive brand roster. And Mishin was part of that. She was in the OC. She, Gallows, and Anderson were all drafted.
Yeah. I mean, if this is the field that they're going to go with, which it more likely is.
Yeah.
Plus, I guess they've got to add like at least 2 more. And I'm fine with it, but I know. But I'm looking forward to the combine. Like, it should be interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure what a combine is. Like, I don't know if you know, but
yeah, it's basically like a series of like different fitness challenges. Like, see, it would help if I knew the words, but I don't go to the gym, so it's like okay, I'm gonna explain this really poorly.
Yeah.
But it's like 50-yard dash, or the push thing with the weight plates on it.
Right. Okay.
And the high jump, that type of stuff.
Right. Yeah.
They do them in the NFL quite a lot when like it's like wind sprints and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting way to decide a wrestling match.
Yeah, actually, it's definitely weird. But of course, you've got to think Brindley Reese is qualified already. I mean, if you're going off who's impressing in a combine, which is a series of fitness challenges, Brindley Reese is up there. Like,
yeah. I mean, because it's going to be how many? Just 12 in the combine.
Yeah. Then 12 combine, 6 qualifying matches. So 2 each per match.
Okay, that's confusing.
What? No.
Right.
So there's 12 women who would impress from the combine. Yeah.
Okay.
And those 12 are put in.
I thought it's 12 people in the combine. Like, what? How's that going to happen? Okay.
But no. So yeah. Mission starts a little brawl between the 4 of them. 4 of them. Yeah, sorry, 4 of them. And suddenly here come everyone else. I did get a good look on who was here because I just wanted to make sure I had it detailed. So this is who is most likely going to be in your combine, at least the first 11. So you've got Jakara Jackson, Kalani Jordan, Lash Legend, who was seen earlier eating a kick-out bar, Izzy Dame, Kyle Petrovic, Brindley Reese, and Ben Sinclair. That was who I saw. I don't know if I missed anyone, but that's who I saw.
I didn't really clock any of them apart from Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend. So
yeah, fair enough. So yeah, I think that's who will be in the combine. And a mystery person who will probably be from Raw or SmackDown. And yeah, I mean, I don't know who it's going to be. But if this is the field, then this is the future of your. The future of your women's division here, practically, and Mia Yim.
See, I'd be interested to know if anyone who came out for that brawl was on that list of people who got released yesterday. Be very interested to know.
I don't think there was.
No.
No, I don't think there was.
No.
Unless, like you said, they used their real names, which I don't think they would have.
No.
But But yeah,
So,
I don't think it's any of those people. We'll get into that towards the end. Just to
yeah.
sorry. So yeah, move on from the combine. Two. It's time for the match that we've all been looking forward to, especially you, Craig. I can tell by the amount of static you're letting off.
Uh,
Literally, that was almost like deafening, like deafening.
oh,
I'm not sure what you're doing. There's like some sort of like static. It comes from you. Not now.
okay.
Not now.
Okay. Okay. I think I might have. Yeah, okay. I think I might have okay, but it's audio problems, folks.
Yeah, we're live. I'll edit it in post, and by which I mean I will probably not because I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry. So, especially you, Craig. This is a match for you, from what I've been told by sources. It's Shawn Spears and Ridge Holland. Yeah. You can tell he's excited in silence. You can tell.
Oh, let's get it over with.
Yeah. So my first note here is kill me.
Oh,
So yeah, Ridge wins with the Northern Grip, which is again like the Rampage DDT thing that Saraya does.
mm.
I rated this 2 stars. It got about 8 minutes, so that's how long I was in pain for. This was slow. There had no aura to it. There was no real anything to it. Ridge kind of squashed Shawn here, so not really sure what's going on with this story. I just want it to be done with, and we can move on to whatever Ridge wants to do next and whatever Shawn can do next. Because right now, I'm not impressed by what Shawn's doing in NXT. As for Ridge, I don't know. There's 3 guys right now in NXT that are like that for me. Ridge Holland, Shawn Spears, and this is King.
Yeah.
I've got no idea.
Nah. What? It's a pity that Spring Breaking's had 2 of these matches where I don't really give a toss.
Yeah.
Like, what? I don't know what they're trying to do with Shawn Spears. Like, 'cause when he came back, it felt like they were going to go with the AEW chairman gimmick, but that's just I don't know what this is.
Mm-hmm.
Ridge, it's Ridge. It felt like Ridge lost his smile, but now he's back a week later,
and he's smiling again.
I honestly don't know anything that happened in this match. Like, I think I watched it, but I can't recall anything happening in it.
Yeah, I am. Like, the thing is, I watched it from the time of recording this, I watched it about 2 hours ago, maybe something like that, and I don't remember about it other than the ending.
I can't remember a single thing that happened in it.
Well, we know Ridge and Shawn had a match, and that's all we need to know.
Yeah, it is. I might have glanced at my phone for like 10 seconds and it was over.
Yeah,
but beyond that, it was a match.
You were on your phone, Craig, for like 8 minutes because it was like an 8-minute match.
I think I might have watched a Joe Hendry TikTok.
That's fair. Yeah, shout out to Joe Hendry. So we go backstage, finally. Roxanne's complaining about not being drafted. But Abel wants to talk about her opponent. It's seeing Roxanne complain about not being drafted is really good because she does it in a really annoying way. Like, it's really good. Like, she's like being entitled, because others have got their chance to go up to the main roster and she hasn't, and she don't understand.
Yeah, it's good. That is what I like to see in a heel. I know we weren't the biggest fan of this turn in the beginning.
Yeah,
but week by week it's improving.
absolutely. Yeah,
and because it started off a little AJ Lee light, but now it's becoming a bit more
fleshed out.
Yeah. Roxanne's finding the groove,
Yeah,
and it's going well.
yeah, absolutely. So yeah, Ava just explains that she's a champion. She can't be drafted. Roxanne still refuses to hear it though, even though it is the rules. But Ava wants to work her next opponent, which she can't do because Roxanne walks off. So we find out later on who that is. Also, we get another segment where Wesley talks to Ivar and Josh Briggs, and sets up a match with Josh Briggs as another unofficial number one contenders match to Overberry, because I'm pretty sure that Ivar beat Josh Briggs as a number one contenders match for Overberry.
Yeah. Jeez.
At this point, Josh Briggs is the gatekeeper for Overberry. He is the Oromensa to Femi's Noam
Oh dear. I had a feeling they were going to go for like a fatal 4-way.
Yeah.
But then I thought, if that happens, poor Wes. I would not want to be the fourth against those three.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine standing across from Ivar, Obafemi, and Josh Briggs? Like, nah, I'm good. I'm out.
Yeah.
But thankfully they're not, and it seems like they're going to go with Wesley's probably going to win this. He has to win it. It's his first match back.
Oh yeah. I know him facing Obafemi is a different story, but him versus Josh Briggs, he's gonna win. He has to win.
Yeah. It needs to be done.
Just bring us fur. Brings us him.
And I can probably see it going down at Battleground.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited about them going to the UFC Apex. I'm excited to see how that looks. Part of me wants them though to keep the Octagon, but
yes.
I'm guessing they probably can't.
Why not? Every match is a Lions Den match.
A ladder match in an Octagon? That would be interesting.
What if they did like an Octagon Ultimate X style match?
That I'd be down for.
Like you set up a little like trivets and whatever, like behind the Octagon to like lift the thing higher, but you've got to climb the Octagon to then jump to the rope above to get. That would certainly be interesting. Well, would that be the first female Ultimate X match? Or was it one?
No, it would be the second. It'd be the third.
Okay, yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, it'd be the third.
Yeah, that's just a random thought I just had, because if you keep the Octagon and work around it.
Or do what they did at was it Money in the Bank during lockdown and have it on the roof?
Yeah.
Have them race to the roof.
Let's throw someone off the roof. Let's throw, I don't know. Who's off the roof this time?
Soruka, sorry.
Yeah, she'll surf off the roof, it's fine.
Yeah. Probably land on her feet.
Probably, yeah. But yeah, other than fancy booking, let's get to the next match of the night, which is the final title match of the night. One that we were dreading. The tag team titles. The Authors of Pain, Akama and Razor taking on Nathan Frazier and Axiom, the champions. Surprisingly, Frazier and Axiom win and retain, following interference from the new Catch Republic. Yay.
Yeah.
I rate this 2.5 stars. So, not only did the match drag, because AOP just aren't that good, uh, the ending was ruined by unneeded interference to give the face team the surprising win. Uh, it was stupid. It was a very stupid call. Like I said already, the match dragged. AOP had most of the control, which makes sense because they're big guys. You know, they're bigger guys compared to Fraser and Axiom, so it makes sense. But it just came across like they were trying to shoehorn anyone they could into this match. And suddenly, here are the NCR. And they come in to cost AOP. For what reason? I don't know. But it keeps AOP looking strong. It does,
Yeah.
right? But it also makes Fraser and Axiom look weaker because they couldn't win clean. And the thing is, what would be wrong with, you know, Fraser taking out Razor or something like that, and then Axiom rolls up a calm?
Exactly.
Like, you AOP looking strong, while having Fraser and Axiom get the flash pinfall, the quick pinfall.
Yeah. It needs to be a surprise win because, like, if you're keeping it like realistic, then you know they're not going to beat them clean.
Yeah.
Like, I can't see how Axiom's going to get Razor up for a Spanish fly from the top rope.
Yeah.
That's just not going to happen, is it?
Probably not, no.
Like, it's just not happening. But yeah, I think the reason the New Catch Republic got involved is because they got jumped on SmackDown last week.
Right. Okay, I don't know. I don't watch Ring Master.
Yeah, they got jumped on SmackDown by the Found Testament.
Right. Okay.
And they had a match. They had a match yesterday on SmackDown as well.
That makes somewhat sense then.
Yeah.
Saying that though, I just wish there wasn't interference because it just made Fraser and Axiom look weaker. And I get that they were on the receiving end of a lot of events, so they were they were tired, they were exhausted and whatever. But I don't know that. They've just won the titles. Like they were champions for how long? Like they beat the Wolf Dogs, and then I think they beat someone else, didn't they? And then did they beat someone else? I can't remember. I feel like I said this last week. I feel like I said this last week as well. Like I can't remember who they else they faced.
No, it's just this is their first defense.
Yeah, so this is the first defense that hasn't ended in them retaining strong, or at least clean. Like it really does set an example for how the reign's going to go, because I still genuinely believe the OC are going to beat them for the titles.
Yeah, and again,
I dread that.
probably Battlegrounds as well.
Yeah, I dread that match because I know it's coming. There's a reason that guys are now in NXT. Like, and it's not to play, second hand to the Wolf Dogs, or to Fraser and Axiom, or to Inoue and Blade. Like,
yeah, and commentary made it very clear that the Go Brothers have won titles everywhere they've gone.
Yeah.
And yeah, NXT is going to be no exception.
Yep.
I would have. I'm not obviously. I'm a fan of the Good Brothers.
Yeah.
I'm not against them winning titles, but I don't want it to be from Fraser and Axiom.
Yeah.
Like that. That's the one thing I don't. I'm very self-aware of the Good Brothers limits, if you like, and what they're good at and what they're not. That's what they're not so good at.
Yeah.
Like, the Go Brothers vs. Fraser and Axiom isn't going to be a great match, and they will play a part in that, a pretty big part, if I'm honest. I don't want them to win the tag titles from Fraser and Axiom, and have. Yeah, I'm just not a fan of that idea, but it's probably going to be the next thing that happens.
yeah, it's just awkward because you have two very much clashing styles in that Fraser and Axiom, never slow down. And then you got Gaz Anderson who never speed up. So you've got two very
Oh,
slow workers, which is not a bad thing because throughout history there's been slow workers who have built their names off the success, which is not a bad thing. It's
mm,
just you need to be able to adapt, which is again something that all the greats have been able to do, except back in the 80s they didn't really adapt that much. But like go forward to the 90s and stuff, they adapted. The big guys, they can all adapt to certain styles, and that applies to teams as well. From what I've seen of Girls Dancing, which is a fair bit, like I've seen like New Japan stuff, I've seen TNA stuff, I've seen their indie stuff, like the Talkie Shop stuff. Like
yeah.
they're not adaptable workers, and please prove me wrong. Like I'm putting it out there. Please prove me wrong. Gallows, do a fucking Spanish fly. Yeah, do something. Yeah, to like really show that you can work with guys like Fraser and Axiom.
Oh,
Like,
I'm trying
like
to picture that. Like,
if if
oh.
if Gallows does a Spanish fly, you know he watches the show.
Hey, I'll tag Carl Anderson. He follows me, so it's all good.
uh, but no, anything that I say about Gareth Anderson, I don't mean it in a harsh way. I just say it because it's what I feel, and I want anything I say bad about anyone. I want them to prove me wrong.
Yeah,
Like
it is.
literally go out there, hear the words I say, and prove me wrong. Throw it in my face. Literally.
Yeah, It's because like I said, there's form for this stuff. Like, reason it's said is because we've seen it before.
Yeah.
So, it, if it's not the case, please prove we can be wrong, please.
Yeah. Literally. Like, I'm not above any sort of code or anything like that where it's like, oh, I can't be wrong. Like, I am gospel. I am Jesus. Like I'm not wrong. Like that's
Yeah,
not me. Like
man.
I
I mean, exactly the same. Prove
yeah
me wrong, and it's over.
yeah. If you can prove to me you can have a good match with Fraser and Axiom, then by all means, Gallows Anderson, do it. Come on the show. Mock me if you want.
But it's still going to be that same old recipe. It's going to be a magic killer. A 1, 2, 3, and a just 2.
I hate this.
Good brothers.
Anyway, we move on. Backstage, we're in a parking lot. Fallon Henley talks briefly about putting herself first, which is something that we've mentioned about Fallon's motivation as in regards to her potentially turning on Thea, which now she has done. But it's something that we were saying because we weren't sure where direction was going with her for booking. Like she seemed to be stuck in limbo, where she's like the backup to someone else or someone's best friend or someone's support, whatever. Like this is her finally taking a step for herself to look out for herself. We'll get more, I'm assuming, next week with a standalone promo. But I hope we get more because Fallon needs to explain as to why she feels the way she does and why she did what she did. And even if it's just like her disregarding fear, because ultimately I don't think fear is the main goal of this. I think Fallon wants to. I think Fallon is looking past her and being like, I want my own opportunities. I want to do well for myself. I want to have titles. Because I don't think Fallon's held the world title. The women's title, sorry. So
No.
So Fallon's been in NXT for how long and not held any titles? The thing is, that applies to so many people as well, actually, to be fair, that statement. That applies to so many of them.
Wasn't she tag team champions with Kiana James?
You might be right. I forgot
Yeah,
about that.
it's very brief, but yeah.
Yeah. I think you're
But
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
when Briggs or Jensen had a thing for Kiana.
Yeah, that is right. Yeah. Yeah.
It was very brief, but yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, I completely forgot about that.
But that's the whole point. It wasn't memorable.
Yeah.
So like, she needs a memorable, decent reign.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's surprising that I thought about that as well. But so yeah, after that we check in with the fitness friends, which is of course Edgerton Ofe, Manic Blade, and Brindley Reese. Edgerton's freaking out over the mirror break-in last week. So to come back from that, Brindley has black kittens, which in other words is black cats, which is a further circumstance of bad luck, which of course freaks out Edris.
uh, loved it. More, please.
But yeah, that's what it is before the main event, which is of course NXT Underground. With no security guard, we go to the ring, surrounded by many trainees and lower card people. We have of course the future of women's wrestling, Lola Vice, taking on very much women's wrestling, Natalia. Natalia's probably up there for like best female wrestler in WWE.
The boat.
Yeah, the boat, the goat.
Because she is.
If
And soon
Carmelo
to be
Hayes is
Knockouts World
him,
Champion.
if Carmelo Hayes is him, Natalia is her.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Yeah. No. With you and like, I'm glad Natalia's finally getting her flowers properly.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming because she's
Yeah.
been in the company since like 2008, 2009, something like
Yeah.
that. Like she's coming on like 15 years in the company.
Like 6 Guinness World Records.
The-
Like, come on, bro.
yeah, give her something.
I mean, it looks like she might be popping it to TNA soon as well, which would be fun.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, the match itself, Lola Vice wins following distraction from Shayna Baszler, which causes Natalia to break the sharpshooter because she's a face. And then a 305 spinning back fist and side mount from Lola to get the win via stoppage. I rated this. I mean, I can see your face now. I don't think you were a fan of it. But I rated this 3 3/4 stars. This was strong. For those who don't know, I love technical wrestling. I love the whole style of this. I love everything to do with stuff related to this. I like Bloodsport. I love that sort of style. You've got, of course, 2 very legit backgrounds as well. You've got Natalia's wrestling background. You've got Lola Vice's MMA Muay Thai background. So this is the perfect sort of setting for these 2 wrestlers. So obviously there was the ending, which was a bit because she has Natalia had a sharpshooter on. Lola like she's about to tap, but then suddenly Shayna Baszler appears behind Carmen Bedridge and chokes her out. Natalia's first priority is saving Carmen rather than winning the match, which as a wrestler, it's very conflicting. But yeah, it was a strong match. Probably my match of the night. You had, of course, Lola Vice, the future of women's wrestling, against someone who, longest tenured person in WWE, longest female, in WWE, being Natalia. The whole atmosphere, lighting, ring, the lumberjack style surrounding the ring, gave the match a gritty, realistic feel. I personally would prefer Lola winning clean, but I get why you couldn't do that. It makes sense with everything that's involved in this match. And honestly, it was a great main event. So much so that I think I rate it higher than Ilya Trick. I think I enjoyed this not much more. I think I enjoyed this more than I did the main event of night 1, of week 1. Sorry. So for me, this is my match of spring breaking. This is my top rated match throughout both weeks.
Yeah, no, I can completely understand that one. It, the match itself, yeah, I like the feel of it, the aura around it. You know, we're trying to make it feel legitimate. But yeah, when Natalia broke the sharpshooter to go over to Carmen, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're about to win the match. Just you. But again, it's like we discussed last week. You can't bring logic into wrestling.
No.
Like, because following logic, there's no way Natalia was trained to like stop stop in the middle of a move where she's about to win the match to go and save someone else. That's not part of her training in a dungeon.
Can I go to the Stu Hart being like, okay, break, go save.
Yeah, like that's not going to be what that's not going to be like lesson 550 whatever bloody well is. It just so I don't get it. Also, the referee called for a stoppage, but Natalia was defending herself. Her,
Yes.
her arms were still up.
Yes.
Like, no. You can't say she was knocked out when her arms were still up.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, call for a TKO, fine. I'd take that a bit more than an actual knockout.
Yeah.
I mean, in general, knockouts in wrestling, not TNA knockouts, just the word like a knockout in wrestling.
Yeah.
It bugs me. I don't like it. I don't like it because if you know that and if you told before the match that you're winning by knockout, and then something happens where you don't quite land the move that's supposed to be the knockout move, and then you have to believe that the person got knocked out.
Yeah.
I mean, I've only like it's I've only seen shows I've been to. I've only seen a knockout once.
Yeah.
It was Chantal Jordan versus Ashley Vega,
Yeah.
and like Chantal the spinning the roundhouse kick, but it didn't quite land, and then the referee called for the bell. So everyone's really confused, not like because the match was because it didn't quite land,
Yeah.
and then the bell went. Then it was announced by knockout, and people were really confused by it.
Yeah.
So it's things like that where it doesn't quite land. It's like Bloodsport do it really well.
Yeah.
There's a couple of things where because it was the same issue I had with Marsha versus Shayna, where Marsha was still defending herself,
Yeah.
but the referee called for a knockout. Like I'm just not a fan of that in particular. Like I'd rather have a submission and then pass out. I believe that more.
Yeah.
They're just knockouts. It has to be done well, and in wrestling they aren't always.
No. It goes back to like takeover. Like for me, Alistair Black and Lars Sullivan. Like he goes for the black mass kick, misses it completely. Lars sells, and then he's pinned.
Yeah.
So it's that sort of thing. It's like I think he like got like the back lightly of Lars Sullivan, and then Lars turns and falls over on his back, and it's that weird thing with wrestling where for those who don't know, the results are premeditated. So sorry, breaking the fourth wall. Most of the time, they know who's going to go into a match.
I've wasted so much time on this.
I've wasted so many years of my life, all for nothing.
But no, I do get what you mean. It's like I think it was Black versus Gargano from I think it was War Games.
Yeah.
War Games 2, where like they could have called for a knockout on that, and I would have 100% believed it.
Yeah.
Like it's just yeah. I get it. You know, it's wrestling, and like it's all down. It all comes down to timing.
Yeah.
But you know, it's the I can't remember who said it. Or what's the podcast? And someone said that when it comes to moves, like if you're trying to close out someone over the top rope and they don't go first time, don't try it again.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. So I understand why you can't do that again,
Yeah, absolutely.
but I'm just not the biggest fan of it.
You can always try and, you know, if you don't go the first time, just throw yourself over the top rope. Because I've seen that happen before.
Yeah, I always go back to the Royal Rumble, or not the Royal Rumble, it might have been the Rumble. Mark Henry versus Batista. Mark Henry punched Batista, but like Batista didn't start the first time, and they just threw himself back. I took 2 steps back and then threw himself backwards.
Yeah.
Like it's like yeah, it's like don't try it again. Just go change the finish up a little bit if you. But yeah.
Yeah. Like there was no reason why if he pushed him back, he could have just gone back towards the ropes and then come back, like rather than fall over. Like
Yeah. Like, so let's let the Invisible Man get a punch.
yeah, of course. He's like a world champion or something.
I mean, it's a full match of was it is it GCW Invisible Man versus Invisible Stan?
Yes, the greatest match ever done.
That stuff. Like I like wrestling, and you know, if for me everything has its place in wrestling, but that stuff can get in the bin. Oh, judgmental.
Yeah,
I digress.
that's bold. Yes, we digress. Good news, Jones. Of course, that of course brings an end to NXT Spring Breaking. So, unless you've got any further comments,
Let's see what happens next week.
yeah, exactly.
For most things.
Ultimately, that is the moral of any of these shows. We'll see what happens next week because you can't really judge too far into the future, unless it's Trick Williams, because you know it's going to be a bad rain. Other than that, though, we need to see what happens in the future because, you know, we can't judge even though we know what's coming. OC, Trick Williams, champions at the same time. It's going to be a horrible time. I'm not a fan.
Oh wow, yeah. Oh, that's just yeah. Oh wow. Okay. Oh.
See? The only saving grace is Roxanne Perez and whoever is the Women's North American champion.
And potentially Wesley.
Oh, I know Femi as well, sorry, yeah.
Wesley.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, of course, that does bring an end to NXT Spring Breaking, and that brings an end to HCW Show Squared. As always, if you want to give Craig a follow on his media, it's just over there, and underneath his name, just there, at Mr. Impact Craig on Twitter. In regards to the show itself, they're just beneath me here, so we have our Instagram, our Facebook, our Twitter, and our Twitch, which are on right now. And of course, if you're so inclined, please do give me a follow at Depreezy on Twitter. Failing that as well, also with the video and our YouTube, I think we've just hit over 800 subs, which is fucking that's insane. That we're potentially going to hit 1,000 before the end of the month.
Do it. Do it.
So yeah, with that in mind, please subscribe to the channel. Everything helps. Comment on the videos, like the videos, share the videos. You know, comment. Do you want to see more of me? Do you want to see more of Craig? Do you want to see just Craig do NXT? Do you want to see Craig and Frozzy? Do you want to see me and Frozzy? Do you want to see just Frozzy, just me? Do you want to see Rate Wrestle for more than one episode? Because he won't do it, but if enough people say to do it, he'll do it.
Tweet him now. Tweet him now.
Tweet him now at Rate Wrestle. Do Show Squared. Watch NXT. No, the goal is ultimately to have all four of us on one episode, because we are approaching episode 52 quite soon, and that will be episode a year. Be quite good to have a year's episode with just the four of us talking about NXT and just the general chaos and shit show that will be.
Yeah, proper. Do it.
Yes. But yeah, that brings an end to this. Just do what I've said and let that be all. Stay good.